action.
Welcome to another episode of the Mastering Entrepreneurship podcast. I'm your host, Ravi P, and I'm joining you today virtually from Irvine, California. Today, my guest is Mr. Enzo Washington, aka Enzo Ma. Welcome, Enzo.
Good morning,
Ravi.
Thank you for your time and your enthusiasm in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, thank you. You are one of the more enthusiastic and charismatic, high energy people that I know. So anytime I'm around you, I feel pumped up. So I'm ready to do this.
All right, no problem. As always, you either influence others or you depress others. So I'm here to influence others.
Excellent. Good. How is this stay-at-home order treating you? Are you staying healthy and happy, keeping your sanity and everything?
Oh yes, of course. I'm picking oranges from the orange tree every day now. So I have a daily routine, getting up in the morning, take a shower, cook my lunch, being a chef, and then pick up an orange, go to a stream, and that's the evening. And throughout the day, of course, meeting with people like you, or taking a look at videos that's entrepreneur-minded, or digging up at what the current trend for technology is, so I can keep myself up. But overall, it's all good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm staying in high spirits. I would be lying to you if I said this whole time I've been that way. I feel like I've been losing it a little bit here and there. Being cooped up in the house, I lose sense of time and just, I'll be working on something or trying to entertain myself around the house. And then before you know it, I look outside and it's dark, or before you know it, the entire night went by and I've been up all night and I'm like, oh gosh. So it has been tough, but I have also been able to, over the past couple of weeks, kind of cement a routine. So now I'm going to bed on time. I'm waking up on time. I'm getting everything done during the day. And so I'm doing much better. I think I've gotten the hang of this.
Great. I think we're all been there.
So Enzo, I want to, first I want to introduce you to the audience. You and I are friends. You are in the master program for innovation and entrepreneurship here at the Paul Mirage School of Business in Irvine. And so we've been friends for a few months now, 6, 7, 8 months, something like that. And so I want to introduce your background a little bit. Why don't you tell our audience where you did your undergraduate studies? You could actually start at your childhood because you are from China. That's
yes.
right?
Yes. Of course, I'd be happy to do that. And by the way, it's my honor to be invited to the podcast here. Thank you, Ravi. For me, I actually got my undergraduate degree here at the Paul Mirage School of Business as well. So I'm currently a double editor. Now in the Master of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, of course. And before that, I was at Santa Monica College, where I earned 5 AA degrees in different field of study. For me, taking the time to do something that I'm interested in isn't really a big issue. If I'm interested in something, I will spend more time there. That's why I spent like 2.5 years in community college, learning, multiple aspects of business, psychology, and some history. Prior to that, I was an international exchange student. I stayed in Arkansas. Well, I first moved to Louisiana, but because of the host family issue and the economy, I eventually moved to Arkansas where I spent maybe 9 or 10 months there. And that was a very, very rewarding experience for me. So I've been to the eastern part of the US, the middle part, as well as the western part for now. So I would say I travel a lot, and I like traveling very much, talking to different people with all different culture, different aspects from all walks of life. That's one of my passion, and that's how I stay positive and energized all the time. Yes, and I come from southwest part of China, city called Kunming, aka Spring City, because the weather, just like Santa Monica or Malibu, is like spring all year long. Really beautiful city. You should check it out on the website. The airport code is KMG, so that will be easier than spelling the Kunming on Google. So it's a really good city, and the city is the capital of my province, which is Yunnan, and Yunnan is the border with Vietnam and Laos and Myanmar. So I come from a very diverse culture background.
Wow, that's awesome. So growing up in that part of China allowed you to kind of understand a lot of different cultures that are from that part of the continent, not just what's happening within your region of China. Very
Oh
cool.
yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree with you more. Actually, one of my undergraduate professor, Dr. Hernandez, said, if you know someone's culture, you can make him or her do anything. So, coming from that kind of background, I completely agree with him. It's really rewarding when you were born in such a place and to, get the experience talking, networking with people from multiple backgrounds or culture.
Oh, wow. So you grew up in a culturally diverse place. You carried that with you over here to the US and got to see a lot of, here in the US, we have a huge diversity of cultures. You spent time in the South. That's a very unique type of culture. And, for America, I would say that is probably one of the most interesting places is the South. I've been there. I've stayed. I've gone to Louisiana as well, and it's very strange because California, you don't really notice this until you leave California, but I feel like Californians, when they go to the South or they go to the Midwest, they suddenly start saying, "Oh wow, everyone's so polite. They're all so nice." They say please and thank you and yes sir and no ma'am and yeah, all of those things, all the formalities. Everyone treats you with respect. And when you come to California, that's not necessarily the case. There's a lot of like judgmental people or what have you. But I'm glad to hear that your charisma and energy has been carried all over the globe.
Yes, sir.
So Enzo, now that you've been in this master's program, I'm interested in your take on it. How have you received all the lessons learned? Are you happy with it? This is the first cohort, so whether we like it or not, this is an experiment. And how do you feel? Do you think you've gotten everything that was promised? Do you feel that, obviously, our final quarter moving remotely unexpectedly has had its downsides for sure. And let me just let you take it from there. Just go ahead and tell us a little bit about your experience in this master's program.
Yeah, sure. Overall, I would say my experience is positive so far. I really enjoyed the marketing class with Imran and the law class we had last quarter. The experience here, to me, is really not about the program itself, but it's really about who you meet. For example, you and I, we became friends and we are likely-minded. We all work towards the same goal. We all work hard. We generate ideas. We talk about solutions instead of complaining to the current situation. So meeting with like-minded people and being able to work and collaborate with them is really a big plus for me by joining this program. And I think that's the most valuable part of this program as well. It's not really about just coming into a school, get your degree done, study some series, read some textbooks. The MIE program to me is really practice. It's really about practice. It's not about learning series or reading books, taking exams. And by the way, I believe reading books, taking exams, that's going to be faded in the next couple of years. What's more important is teaching people what's right or wrong, how to be a critical thinker and a creative thinker. And with my humble view, I deeply believe that's the future of education and that's the future of the world. So MIE overall is great. Well, moving to the virtual, we lost a lot of interactions. And I would say this last quarter isn't working out very well because there's no interaction between people. I mean, yes, we are connecting virtually, but it's not the same as we can connect physically. Right. So I think this last quarter is a little bit different, but we are all here. And to fight the COVID-19, we have to do this. So sacrifice had to be made.
Yes, that is a very important thing that we have to keep in mind. That's very true. So I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks that.
Great, that makes two of us.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, I find the core value of this program to also be the interactions, the network expansion, and the practice, just like what you said. And then when we moved virtually, it made that value essentially disappear. And we really had to take steps and push ourselves to rework our lives so that we can start getting that back. So we can still meet and have our podcasts, so we can still talk to new people, and we could still learn from one another. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I agree, but I think it is important that we keep in mind that we're all fighting this common enemy of a virus, and we all have to do our part, and this is what it takes. So
yes,
very true. Well, Enzo, let's talk some business now. So you've been working on a solution for graduation pictures, this entire program. And I would like you to share that with the audience. Kind of, I think you have a very interesting origin story. Like, what made you do this? You were dissatisfied with something, and well, let me have you take it from there.
Sure. And by the way, just out of curiosity, do you want me to share my screen? Because I just did my new venture competition pitch, so I have my PowerPoint ready. Not sure if you want to have the screen shared, or we can just talk.
No, yeah, we don't need to do a pitch, but yeah, just educate our audience a little bit, because I do want to cover a few more things beyond your business.
Yeah, sure. Let me tell you what was the problem first. I graduated from my undergraduate last year, and I took my graduation photos with a studio called Lawrence Studio, which was extremely expensive, and I didn't have a very good experience. I took the photo because I want my picture to be in the yearbook. I remember they took about 15 pictures of me sitting inside of a studio and with a boring blue backdrop. And when they sent me the bill, it was $349 just for 15 digital copies of my picture. And to my eyes, those are not really high quality. And whatever, since gone and time passed, and finally got my yearbook. I was looking for my picture, and I couldn't find it under the School of Business. It was under School of Education eventually. And I called Lawrence Studio, and they said, "Oh, we are deeply sorry, sir, blah, 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 blah. But we can give you a refund, and however, you have to return the book to us." So I thought that was ridiculous. That's how I came up with this new idea I'm currently working. It's called OmniGrad, OmniGrad. What we do is we turn your campus into a Disneyland. So we have so we have multiple locations on campus, outdoor locations. And we also set up an indoor studio. You as a customer, just like going to Disneyland, travel around to locations of your choice, and our station photographer will capture your brightest smile for you. And we give you all the digital copies, no extra charge. So that's the business I'm working on right now. And we hope to evolutionize the graduation picture industry. It's really about giving the students what they deserve at a reasonable price, but also providing good service. The traditional graduation studio, they don't really capture the spirit of your school because it's just a studio headshot. The only thing you can tell if this person graduated from UCI is by looking at their sash. Well, for us, it's different. We document your memories for a lifetime, and we capture the spirit of your campus. That's why we have outdoor locations as well as indoor studio. So the background you're seeing right now is actually one of our background for the indoor studio. We offer 2 different colors just for you to pick because different people have different, picks on color.
And that's a UCI color. It might not be coming through very well in this virtual environment, but that is a yellow, right?
Yes.
And that's one of the colors of UCI. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I love the fact that you actually have outdoor photos featuring the landscape of our campus. That is a incredible value proposition. It's not just something when you look at it and you go, "Oh, I remember college." You look at it and you say, "I remember walking into that building there every day for 4 years," or whatever, because that was the School of Engineering or whatever your major was. So I think that is a very, very interesting value addition that you have there.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I am totally pro OmniGrad. I've lent a helping hand myself to help guide the business, and I'm glad that I was able to give any advice I could to help you make this really happen. And you had the website up, you had some customers sign up, and then this pandemic happened. So, I'm very sorry that all of that hard work we didn't get to see come into fruition this summer, but I'm sure it will happen soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, sacrifice had to be made, right?
Yep, that's right. And that's just another thing that we had to sacrifice in order to fight this virus. So Enzo, that's what was happening now. We are rapidly approaching graduation. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be very close to graduation, just maybe a week or 2 away. When we graduate, what plans do you have?
For me, the situation now is really tricky because people who have jobs are being laid off. And for people who are graduating are also looking for jobs. So thinking about this critically, for people who currently being laid off, it's a really tricky situation for them as well. Because imagine this, 1 or 2 years later, those people who were working, for example, working as a manager in a company, because they've been laid off, so they had to find some lower end job or lower paid job, maybe a restaurant manager or taking a job at Starbucks, right? So they laying their own standard low a little bit.
Yeah.
And now we have those who just graduated a year or two later from today. So from an employer's perspective, I would rather hire someone who just graduated from the university because he or she are more into the trend. They've been studying the latest trend in terms of technology or other things. Well, it depends on industry as well. So for me, it's really tricky because now I don't have a job. And 1 or 2 years later, compared with those two types of people I just mentioned, I mean, practically speaking, so for me, what I want to do is really use this time to keep myself up to the trend and keep updating my knowledge base and my network. So when the timing is right, I can jump right back into the job market and be a strong candidate. I would also like to start my own business. So instead of looking for a job, I was thinking, why don't I create jobs for other people? So further developing OmniGrad into a year-long business is also one of the options I'm considering of right now.
Very good. Yeah, these are, I'm going to use the word, these are unprecedented times that we're in, and nobody knows how to react. Nobody knows how to deal with this. We're all learning. So yes, I feel you. I'm right there with you. I'm also graduating and entering into a job market where in California we have 10% of our population on unemployment. With unemployment levels like that, our economy will be suffering greatly.
Absolutely.
However, it's my understanding that in many Asian cultures, the word for crisis is the same word for opportunity. And I was speaking with DK, and he was saying, we need to focus ourselves not on what's happening and where the crisis that is unfolding around us, but change our mindset so that we can perceive the opportunities that are being created around us as well. So I'm right there with you. Enzo, no, go ahead.
To DK's point, I agree, but not 100%. I believe because this is entrepreneur podcast, right?
Oh yeah.
As an entrepreneur, I believe we need to keep up to the trend. So whatever you do, don't lose yourself from the current. I'm watching news from 3 different channels every day. Asian channels, American channels, as well as Taiwan or Hong Kong channel. Getting news from different perspectives and getting news from all around the world is really an important part of my daily routine. And that's what I mean by keeping up with the trend. If you just lose yourself in today's world, everything's changing rapidly, how can you keep up maybe half a year later or a year later? But spiritually, I agree with DK. It depends on the situation.
Yeah. I mean, that is sound advice, and I'll start taking that. I'm going to ask you to share those news outlets with me, so that I could be better informed from other perspectives. I know the U.S. and China political relations are under stress right now. So there's all kinds of conflict that could be brewing for economies globally. And staying up to date with that information and seeing how both sides could be perceiving this conflict is going to be very important for making informed judgments and decisions in our lives. Yeah, so I want to move on now. I have a few questions that I like to ask because we're running short on time. One of the questions that I like to start asking is, what is something that I didn't ask you today that you would like to share? Oh boy. What is something that I didn't ask you that you could share with us?
Well, that's a very tricky question and a really good one, I would say.
It is.
Here, I have this answer for you. What you didn't ask me is, who am I? Who am I?
Okay.
Truly.
So, Enzo, who are you?
Simple. There are always outliers in the universe. I believe I'm one of them. I'm a passionate critical thinker who are here to solve problems. My life philosophy is learn, earn, and return. That's my answer.
That's our philosophy here on the Mastering Entrepreneurship podcast as well. Learn,
awesome.
Earn, and return. That's what it's all about.
And I just want to give credit to the person who said this. His name is Bill Morris. He was one of my undergraduate professors here at the Mirage. He was a Wall Street executive at 3 public companies before he retired. Also a world record holder for consecutive setups. He did 21,000 consecutive setups in one day without break. So he was one of my mentor, and I really admire him.
I'm sorry, he did 21,000 consecutive sit-ups.
Yes.
And that's like a stomach crunch.
Yes.
Exercise.
Without break.
And he did 21,000 of them in a row.
Yes, without break, without going to bathroom, in a row.
Oh my God.
He actually broke his own record a couple times. I'm translating his book, which you can find on Amazon. It's called The Formula for Success. I'm translating into Chinese right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Okay, so here we go. Adding to the Mastering Entrepreneurship reading list, Enzo Ma is recommending The Formula to Success by Professor Bill Morris, right? Did I get that right?
Okay. Yes.
Excellent. So my last question is something that I think tells a lot about a person, how they react to the question, how they, and just what their answer is. And this is the question. The question is, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
What is your favorite emoji?
My favorite emoji? I don't really use emoji that much, to be honest, but if you ask me what's my favorite, I would say a smile face.
Smiley face is your favorite? Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't use emojis very often?
I don't use emojis very often, but I think a smiley face is really something that can transform energy to another person. Make a person to be a little bit more happy and give them a little bit more energy, or show them that you are approaching them with a very kind manner. So I think that's my favorite emoji.
I think that is the perfect emoji for you to have picked. because you are always walking around with this big grin on your face anytime I see you.
Thank you.
Every time I see you, you're, hello, Robbie. Just so much energy, so much charisma. I love it. Well, my friend, it's so good to see you. So good for you to join me and come on the podcast, share some wisdom with our audience. And it's been nice talking to you. I feel re-energized and positive and happy and ready to rule the world once again.
It's so good to be invited.
Oh, hey, whoa, where'd that come from? What else do you have hidden over there?
What else? Here, class of 2020.
Ah, there we go. Okay. Awesome. All right, Enzo, thank you so much. And I want to remind everyone they can find OmniGrad on their website. So look out for OmniGrad. They might be available at a school near you. And you can always reach out to us here at info@miepodcast.com, or you can find OmniGrad on social media channels, Instagram, Facebook. I'm sure Enzo has a full stack of all those social media accounts. Okay, so remember, folks, stay positive, keep that smile on your face, and we'll see you next time on Mastering Entrepreneurship.
Thank you, everybody.
I don't know what this move is, but they do it on TikTok.
Stay home, stay healthy, save lives.
Thank you guys so much for watching and being part of the podcast. Don't forget to share this with all your friends and family. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. Don't forget TikTok. If you want to get in touch with us, go ahead and email us at info@miepodcast.com. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.